Hello and welcome to the first ever STATREP. Oh man, it is myself, Tyler Bortel, joined by
Lukas Troller
from the Stat Check podcast. Take all comers. We are bringing you hot and fresh content in our new battle report format. If you enjoyed our bit reps back in our days at Best Infection the Next Generation, you'll be familiar with the format. But if you're not, the idea is it's going to be rapid fire. Whole thing sped up. Hopefully we get the whole game done in under an hour. We're going to get right on into it. We're playing Genestealer Cults versus
Bully Boyz.
Let's go. Now, this is May of 2024. The new GSC Codex is coming out soon, but it's not here yet. So this is old GSC. But let's jump right into the list.
Yeah, let's do it.
Starting off with, well, first of all, the mission is going to be Crucible of Battle, Take and Hold, Chilling Reign, nothing fancy.
Yep,
hold 1, 2, 3. Yep. And let's talk about the Bully Boyz list. Lucas, what do we got going on here?
Yeah, so this is the Bully Balls, dude. I love those lines so much.
So bad at
you
spelling.
gotta just point out the typos. It's a classic, dude. It's a time-honored tradition of ours.
That's fair enough.
So yeah, this is my Bully Boyz list I'm working on most recently. As people know on the podcast, I'm really working hard on Tide as of late, but Bully Boyz are also pretty fun, so I've been experimenting quite a bit. Going with something a little bit more boy heavy rather than going in on the knobs. So we got Snake Rot, 3 war bosses on foot. One of them's got Big Gob, and another one's got Head Stompa. The last one's just naked. Mega Boss with Teleporter. He's joined to 6 Mega Knobs. We got a Pain Boy to go with one of those war bosses. 20, 10, and 10 Orc Boys. 2 squads of 5 Storm People. 3 trucks. 2 squads of Gretchen. A Battle Wagon. And then 3 squads of 6 Mega Knobs with double saws. So all in on the Mega Knobs, but still got a lot of trash on this list.
Yeah, no, I think one of the things that you're doing here that is a little bit different than what most people might be seeing out there in the wild with Bully Boyz is those 6-man Mega Knobs without any characters. Obviously, the one boss with the teleporter, but a lot of people are saying you got to bring 3 bosses or maybe even a big mech. What gives? What's up with the no leaders?
So I think the Mega Bosses are really expensive. They do a lot for the squad in helping them hit hard targets, but they don't actually help with the main Mega Knob issue of getting bogged down in crap. Because I was finding that I would pay for the 100-point or the 85-point character, whatever he is, and then the squad would still get bogged down by a car and 5 guys. And it was just so points inefficient that I'd rather spend those 100 points on, buying a truck and half a squad of Gretchen to go and score points with. So I do like the one squad with Teleporter just because it's, rapid ingress is amazing for this army. But having 2 6s of Mega Knobs with reroll hits in cars is like enough of it that it still basically kills most tanks in the game. It'll threaten most elite infantry in the game very respectably. And just like the war ball squads, they still get bogged down. So why bother paying for that character? Yeah.
And because you'd have to cut down to the 5-mans and to fit in the truck anyway, you're not losing that much durability and a couple of wounds. They still do the thing. It makes sense to me. Yeah. Well, let's see how it shakes out. Playing up against my Genestealer Cults. We got hobos with shotguns here. A little bit of a different take than what you had been seeing out of me previously. We are done with aberrants. We're done with the 90s, and we're done with aberrants. They're so expensive. They're so expensive. You get so much stuff if you don't take them. So in this list, we got 3 Primuses, one of whom has Inscrutable Cunning. This is the best thing ever. I talked about this a lot on TAC this week. Check out our episode on the Gongai GT where I talked a little bit more about it. You give Alien Cunning to the Primus, because obviously the Aberrants don't need it anymore, which will allow you to do 2 things. It'll allow you to do an infiltrate play that I'll show off in a moment. But more importantly, it'll allow you to get CP back on a 4-up on a unit that you're using 3 stratagems of battle round on. It's insane. Because it works every time you use a stratagem on them, not just every time you actually have to spend a command point. So with the Nexos, that second line on the list, you're using free strats every single player turn. And honestly, you start using stratagems that you have no reason to do. If I go first, top 1, I advance them, and then I immediately reroll the advance for free to see if I get a CP back, even though they're not going anywhere. That's just how the unit works now. It's insane. So that's them. The Nexos is free strats, like I said. We got a single Reductus. No, there's 2 Reductuses in this list. I don't know why it says 1 Reductus. There's 2 Reductuses. 2 Reducti, as they say. A single Clamavis with the 10-man Neophyte squad. I hate this unit. I hate them so much. I wanted to try them because everyone tells me they're great. They're terrible. I hate it. 2 20s of Neos because that's actually a good unit. 2 Echoes with bombs, flamers, banners, the whole thing. The Neos, of course, have seismics and grenades. We got a mortar car with a Survey Augur. A little bit greedier than taking the spotter on him, but as you can see, there's a couple other Ridge Runners to apply some tokens if necessary. We've got 2 squads of 2 Ridge Runners with mining lasers and spotters. This is the sauce unit for me right now. They are going to crack some tanks. They are going to provide some board control. You'll see all about it in a sec. I love them to death. Then we got our little guard contingent here. 10 Catachans, 10 Cadians, 2 Taroks, 2 Cyclops. kind of classic guard stuff. I like Tarrox over Chimera because advance and get out is better than firing deck when your guys don't really have guns that matter that much. Also, they're smaller, which is sexy. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So for secondaries here, I've taken tactical. Fixed is a staple against GSE, and I know how it works. So I just wanted to see how my list would play tactical.
Totally.
And you've gone with Assassinate Homer.
Yeah, with
kind
the
of
other
for the
direction.
opposite token, right?
Exactly.
You know you like getting the CP from tactical, but you have this new Primus with Alien Cunning. It is Alien Cunning. No, Inscrutable Cunning.
Inscrutable Cunning. Yeah. Alien Cunning is the Tyrannid
So you're not as reliant on tactical for CP. You wanted to see how you would do killing my characters, and this list has more trash, right? With
yeah, absolutely.
With the 10 Neos, more importantly, the double Reductus, double Guardsman, double Tarrox, double Cyclops, you have enough stuff to do homers with.
Yeah, the only thing keeping me playing tactical, I thought, was the command points. And now that I'm not as reliant on it, we'll see what we can do. And here we got a cool little picture of my Kit Bashed Primus. Still in the progress of panning him. Hopefully we'll have some cool pictures of him finished up in the next couple days. Anyway, let's get right into the game. As far as deployment is concerned here, let's break a couple things down. The first thing that I think anyone will notice looking at this nonsense is, what the hell is this giant brick of neophytes? This is part of why I like Inscrutable Cunning so much. We have 3 redeploys because you have a Primus in the list, and of course you have a Primus in the list. You have 3 of them in the list. So you can, if you get the Defender, as I did in this case, you get to fully wall off midfield from any opposing infiltrators, right? Snickrot is a very annoying piece for me to deal with, and by getting Defender and saying he doesn't get to go anywhere, I don't have to deal with him, and one of my 3 redeploys is going to be putting this unit just back over here in safety in a minute, but they're excellent. Any thoughts on your deployment here, Lucas? It seems pretty conservative.
Yeah, I'm just mostly keeping my squishy bits hidden behind this huge amalgamation of ruins that are in my DZ. This is
8?
Yeah, NTL layout 8.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of line of sight blocking pieces in my DZ. So that's where all my trucks and boys are hidden. And then we've got the wagon kind of exposed down there on the lower right. I'm ready to kind of move laterally up the board to help control space. Yeah. And that's the really nice part about the wagon compared to most orc units is it's actually like can take some heat on turn 1 and not instantly fold.
Totally. These lasers are great anti-tank, but they're only strength 12. Only strength 12. But you being T12 and AOC, like it's a...
Yeah, imagine if you weren't AP4 ignore cover, dude. Like I'd get 4 up armors.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice. All right, so we got a Reductus up here. We got our other Reductus over here. This one's using his 12-inch bubble to cover that objective. This one's ready to jump into either of these directions. I'll explain this trick as it happens with the Cadians, but yeah, I think let's go ahead and get started.
Yep.
So we'll do our redeploys. Here's me pantomiming, freaking out about what am I going to do with my neophytes? Oh, I'm going to put them back in the tray. I highly recommend having trays if you're a GSC player because, man, you need to move a lot of models around very often. So they'll come back there, and I think everybody else basically stays where they're at. Yeah, let's see what's going on. You're showing a 4. I'm showing a 5. GSC going first, baby. Time for the funnies. So what you're going to see here is my scout moves. The Catachan Scout 9, the Ridge Runners, or Catachan Scout 6, Ridge Runner Scout 9. So kind of my standard play here is the Cadians start on the home field. They key the home field, the Catachan Scout up, and then this distance right here is pre-measured to be 11 inches so that even on a 1-inch advance, I just immediately can get the Cadians into the car after the Catachans get out. I don't even know if that's what ends up happening here, but anyway, Ridge Runners are coming down this way. Ridge Runners are coming out this way. These right here are my special sauce here. We are blitzing directly across the table. Forget about it. This is like my favorite play that I get to pull off in a minute. Turn 1, I draw Assassinate, deploy Teleport Homers. So I'm just going to run my car outside of the other car because Cyclops go in cars, run into the middle, get within 6 of the center. That's a Homer. And then Assassinate we'll get to work on. These cars running up here are going to shoot down this very tight alleyway to shoot at this truck because demacking Lucas is the most important thing on the front end of the game because man, oh man, do I not like popping cars. And then they're going to try to charge and tag this battle wagon to slow him down because Lucas really wants to expand out comfortably and use that wagon to shield those 20 boys that are inside. And by pinning him in place there and making him make a tough decision about what to do about it, very saucy. That battle wagon does not want to sit in place there. No. Why doesn't it? No, we'll get there in a sec. Anyway, so here come the Catachans in their car. They're just going to run up to the top here. In hindsight, I probably should have got him out because, like, what are you going to send after them? Especially with a Reductus here. So if you send the Storm people, like, they just get blown up. But we're living and we're learning. The Cadians do end up getting in this car, and it just stays centralized here, ready to explode in either direction. And my Reducti are just going to line up to get a couple shots off at the Storm people here, weaken them a little bit. And
Storm people are vibing.
They are. I got very excited about my 3 different indirect pieces going after your stupid 5 orcs, and I think did I kill 1?
You killed 2.5.
2.5. All right, that's not bad.
Yeah, I was scared of them having to take a round check.
Oh yeah, I remember. Barely got away. So here's coming in hot. I don't need the crossfire token on the truck because it's a 4-up save with a 6-up invuln. So even in cover, AP3 on the mining lasers gets right through. So all 3 of those indirect pieces are going to go into the Storm people. Yeah, we got 2 of them. Nice. Good job, boys. And then time for the main event. Go Gadget Laser Car. Woo!
6 shots.
That's the good stuff. 3 hits. And looks like 3 wounds, 6-up invulns. 1 of them. Can I roll my 10? Yes, sir.
Of course.
See you later. And out pile, what is this? A squad of boys? There's Mega Knobs. Squad of Mega Knobs. By the way, didn't mention it. Lukas decides not to WA turn 1. Me going first obviously is going to give an advantage. It's going to have some ups and some downs. But the advantage of it is that I get to know Lukas's WA well in advance. So I'm not scared of him advancing and charging anywhere. I get to build my stuff like that. And also these Mega Knobs are not going to be doing crazy damage if they get into combat. Plus side for him, though, well, talk about the WA. What's your thought process here?
Well, I mean, I almost never recommend doing it on turn 1. Wog defensively is, you only do it if the situation is dire. You should almost always be using the WA as a gap closing and threatening tool rather than a trying to frantically stay alive tool. And that's why the 5-up invuln is like the least important part of it. You should be using it for advance and charge and +1 attack. So, I just don't feel that threatened by Tyler here. Obviously, like, laser cars can do their thing, but there's not really going to be any bombing happening here, anything like that. I don't really need to close the distance. So I'm just going to try to wait this out as long as possible. And, GSC is an army that gets a lot of power later when some of its units revive. And I want to have as much of my gas left going into the late game as possible as well. I don't want to get out tempoed and on turn 4 just have nothing left in the tank. So sweet. I'm going to try to hold this as long as possible. So turn 1, I also draw Assassinate, but out of my deck because I'm a man. Assassinate is going to be pretty difficult this turn, isn't it, Tyler?
Yeah. How are you possibly going to get to any of my characters?
I thought I was such a genius holding onto this card at the end of the turn. Lo and behold, dude, it was my master plan all along. So those 3 Storm Boys don't have to take a morale check. Let's go! 4-up armor kings! Rather 5-up with cover. And then, they're going to go deploy a Homer right there in the middle. Thank you. They'll head down this way. And because we're playing Take and Hold here, I like Take and Hold because, every objective does matter.
Yes.
It's not like priority targets where you can kind of hand wave and be like, oh, because, XYZ happened, or I went first, or you went second, and this is the kind of slow game. No, dude, like every time you deny 5 points, it matters. And every time you can grab a 10 instead of a 5 or a 15 instead of a 10, it matters. So here, what I'm going to do is try to deny this primary Tyler has in the upper left with as little effort as possible. And I kind of hum and haw over this for a little while. And where's clear? There we go. I decide that despite the fact that I've lost a truck here on my home objective, I feel like the easiest way to do this and the least material expended is to get out a bunch of dudes and just have them live in this area. And then the truck advances onto the objective. So that contests it while keeping my units as safe as possible because these guys are going to live back here and just prevent Tyler from 3-inching back here to blow up all my nice, juicy, squishy bits back there. So that's going to keep my guys safe while denying 5 on the primary. So, really what I'm angling for here, and I spent a lot of time thinking about this in the early game, is how do I preserve as much resources as possible going into the later game and also be WOG as late as possible, which is going to help with that quite a bit. Most Bully Boyz games are going to be WOG on 2 and 3, especially brawly type games where you're just kind of punching each other and you hope to out-tempo the opponent in terms of material. You're just going to WOG on 2 and 3 for max gas. I don't think this is going to be that kind of game. If I can try to slow down as much as humanly possible on turns 1 and 2, and then WA on 3 and 4, it's really gonna, I think, help with my momentum and let me keep Tyler's primary score super low. So
it's a good read. Talk about these Mega Knobs over here.
Yeah, Mega Knobs, like the WA defensively, obviously they kind of melt without it, but they're honestly not a horrendous unit at just like killing a vehicle. while they're not in the, WA, because they have a lot of quality attacks, and while they don't hit very well, as soon as you get past the hit step, it's like, yeah, okay, every single one of these has like an 80% chance to do 2 damage to a vehicle, which is pretty darn good. So they can, one of my favorite techniques is like, not really a technique, it makes it sound way more fancy than it is, but you're going second as the orc player, the opponent puts a car on objective, he's like, haha, you're not walking, you can't get me. You walk out, you punch their car, maybe you kill it, maybe you don't, and then next turn you turn on the wall, you have your whole defense, and you're like, yeah, now I'm advancing and charging, and I'm starting on your model. So that I really like. And it also means like you have all of your defense and offense for that turn that you're engaged with them. So if they try to bog you down, you're like, okay, now I'm going to reroll hits and you're effed. So these guys in particular are going after the Ridge Runners in the lower right. Ideally, I'll kill both of them. This is one thing that I'm not really quite used to yet from Tyler's new GSC list, is just how much stuff there is compared to the old versions, where there's like next to no units, it feels like. This is going to be really important to track down all the loose ends all over the board so I don't get screened out, and little annoying units don't start deploying homers in my backfield and making a nuisance of themselves. So hopefully these Meganobs can go in and clear out the Ridge Runners, or if not, get them low enough that they can be finished off by something smaller later. Yeah, nothing too crazy happening here.
The Warbikers down here, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're like screening and preventing the battle wagon from getting like something horrible happening to the battle wagon. In particular, I'm worried about a 3-inch Bomba squad killing it, and then a Neophyte squad landing down here in the lower right and just annihilating the contents of the wagon. That is one downside of the wagon, is just how much space that 20-man takes up getting out. Yeah. It's really easy to wrap. It's really easy for the opponent to be like, yeah, you're going to have to disembark in line of sight because you take up like 36 square inches with this freaking unit. So, yeah, it is giving yourself landing spots is really important. So
definitely.
That's what those bikers are doing. They're just buying a little bit of space.
Makes sense. Looks like between the Meganobs and the wagon, we get the last Ridge Runner down to 2 wounds, but he does hang on. Yeah. Can't stop the car.
Cannot stop the car. There's a lot of cars in this game.
There are indeed. And your truck hits this charge. This is so annoying to me. Did it not have to advance to get there?
No, it did.
Interesting. Yeah, that's so annoying. If you don't hit this charge right here, my life is so much less complicated right now.
Bummer, dude.
Bastard.
I think I hit it on the number that also gave me a pilot.
You did. Well. That was the really disrespectful part, is that I can't even get out in front on my side.
I mean, I could have just rolled an 11 and would have been the same result.
Yeah, but like this is the more disrespectful version of that.
I think an 11's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, but that's like I rolled good, and now like haha, I rolled not good, but also like the perfect good, like because it's like 4 would have been bad, 5 would have been bad, 6 is perfect, 7 would have been bad, 8 would have been bad, 9 would have been bad, 10 would have been good. Like it's just that stupid. Anyway, not the point. All right, so that's a solid turn 1. It's going to be
what I'm thinking here is I don't want to wah, so if I keep assassinate, it will incentivize you to use a character to hit me as hard as possible. So I'm going to hold on to assassinate, and then I'll kill a character for my trouble, and I'll also have an extra wah in the tank.
Makes sense to me. So we're getting a homers for 3, and we're holding on to assassinate to get it next turn.
Yes.
Makes sense. All right. Sweet. So I'm going to hem and haw over here a while about what to do about this the battle wagon situation. Precisely as predicted, I'm trying to cram neophytes over there. It's just not going to happen.
Dog off, dude.
I'm going to put them there anyway, because screw you. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get held to a 5 on primary here, which is a bummer. I really should have gotten these idiots out up here and just stood there and said, what are you going to do about it? Frankly, this car should also be over here. But we're doing what it is. I think I honestly probably could have just had the car get out, stand over here to screen, and then this car goes in the middle and does the homer.
Right.
I'm not super used to having this many units, as you can tell with the GSC stuff, so a little overly excited. But I do love the idea of not providing a unit in the midfield for you to go after, particularly with piles of Meganobs right here. Though frankly, I would love it if your Meganobs got out and killed the Tarox and then got bombed. So 6 of one, half dozen the other. All right, so speaking of Bomba, in comes Bomba Squad. And this is Bomba Squad Sans Primus. We got one squad with a Primus, one squad without a Primus. I love this setup personally because it allows you to fully throw away a unit, just hoping you get it back because it's going to die on turn 2. So it'll come back on a 3-up, which is great. It doesn't feed him the assassinate point that he wants so badly. We're going to try to force him out to get that later. And it
also uses the Return to the Shadows very well, right? Because you're getting that on 2 units basically all the time. So having that on 2 like high value Primus Neophyte squads is like really sexy. Yeah, because a default Neophyte squad without a Primus is kind of like complete ass.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, there are definitely matches where you have to go in with the double Primus Bomba, and let me tell you, those are matchups where you blow some stuff.
It does feel like gas, and then you have like the one squad of the idiot purple squad who's like, we do nothing.
Yeah, they were pretty limp in that tied game we played. Unfortunately, you were already tabled by the Bomba, so it didn't matter. But not their best showing for sure. No. So the other thing though is now it's top of 2, so that ingress threat is. So much of this turn is how do I deal with I got to deal with these guys. I got to deal with these guys. I'd like to deal with these guys. This situation is going to be what it is. It's walled off, so you're not getting the wagon on there without some shenanigans. Cough, cough. So if I can deal with all of those things while keeping as safe as possible and only trading away these guys, and maybe Reductus over here, deal with this truck. I'm going to put a Reductus over here to make sure it goes away. That'll be a solid turn. I'll pick up both my Neophytes next turn. I'll have my Primus ready. You didn't call the wall this turn.
Correct.
This is the crazy thing. Lucas does not call the wall battle round 2. I assumed it was obvious that he wouldn't. He has just said, nope, screw it. Don't need to do it. And I think he's totally right. Because I'm hitting him on the top. He needs the defense on the top. And if I'm going to come this close to him, like, why does he need the advance and charge? So it's just going to decrease his output. But like, there's a full squad of Mega Knobs here. They can probably kill a car. Like, yeah, it's the right call. It's an annoyingly good call. And if you were an Orc player playing Bully Boyz in particular, think about if you have to call it and prolong it as long as you possibly can.
I espoused this a lot when I was playing Warhorde, right? Loa as late as possible.
Yeah.
Like the longer you can force your opponent to be scared of it and play around it, the more value you're getting. If you just rip off the bandit on turn 2, they're going to be like, oh, cool. Turn 3 rolled around. I can do whatever the hell I want to.
Yep.
Less so with Bully Boyz, right? Because you get the second one on turn 3, but you know,
still,
the longer you can wait, the more value you get out of the mechanic. Half of the value is scaring your opponent with it.
Yeah. My experience into Bully Boyz in the past has been they walk turn 2, they walk turn 3, you table them turn 4.
Yes.
Right. And if they walk turn 3, turn 4, it doesn't matter if you table them turn 5. The game's over, bro.
Yeah.
You can't actually score points after that. So like the next step in the metagame of that then is to make sure that you are forcing that wall early by threatening to score a ton of points if they're not able to advance and charge to stop it. Those are the kind of things you want to look for if you're playing against Orcs who might be at that higher level there. But yeah, so this is Green Squad here. Green Squad is the squad with the Nexus and the Primus Inscrutable Cunning. They're going to be super safe here, right? This wall is functionally impenetrable to Orcs. They're going to shoot. They're lined up to help finish off the Mega Knobs, and I think the Seismics can see the Warbikers down here if we're able to deal with the Mega Knobs quicker than that, which would be great. My truck here takes this objective. My truck here, this was contested anyway, stays contested. I do fall back over Lucas. I think this is something that not everyone sees all the time. Anytime you're in combat, you can fall back over someone. All right, we're going to pause right there to talk about what the fuck just happened. Bastard. Talk about falling back in a sec. So let me just back up a second. So right here, let me tell you about a little thing called redundancy. I've got 2 laser cars staring at a truck.
Yes.
If you recall last turn, 2 laser cars obliterated a truck on their own. Just in case that doesn't happen, I've also got... I guess that's really it. So just in case it doesn't happen, because you never know when it will or won't. Admittedly, this truck can't do that much if it stays there. I've got a Reductus right here, ready to use a free grenades, and we'll get within 6. We'll throw a demo charge if we have to. These 3 things will kill a truck, like 99 times out of 100. I'm very confident in their ability to do that.
You're going to kill it so hard it's going to explode.
It turns out that's what happens. The 2 Ridge Runners fire. This truck dies. Lucas hits the 1 in 6 to explode, like he always frickin' does. And then he hits the 1 in 3 to do a full 3 mortal wounds and kill my Reductus immediately. So I lose a Reductus. That's a whole unit. I lose the demo charge before it's been thrown. I lose the D3 plus 3 mortal wounds before they've been activated. And you get a 5 on assassinate, bottom 1 on my turn.
Sounds like a skill issue, honestly.
Absolutely, brother. What am I going to do about this? But yeah, so we're going to figure out how to play around that. That was annoying. I guess in theory, it might have been smarter to just stand between 6 and 8 so I can still use the free grenades, which is almost assuredly enough damage. I think I also, and then maybe like, where's Purple Squad? Did I even bring them in? It's top 2. Where's Purple Squad? Did I hold them off the table for some reason? Am I like hoping to threaten an ingress or something? What am I doing?
Oh, dude.
Interesting. Purple Squad should really be here threatening this as a backup. Purple Squad is my other squad of Neos with the Primus. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Weird decision. Yeah, anyway, don't do that. That's the kind of the moral of the story there. Yeah, because then the Reductus could have stayed behind the wall, would have been fine. Here's the other thing. This Reductus right here, I did all my pre-measuring. There's 9, there's 9, there's 9, there's 9, right? This is all perfectly screened out because Lukas has that ingress threat. And he decides not to ingress because I screened so well. Like the best, oh my gosh, what is up with the pen here? The best place he has to come in is like here on top of his models where he can't fit, or like here. Go nuts, dude. But now that this guy has died, even though it's past the ingress step, there is now a massive pocket, like right back here, just wide open. Just a ridiculous thing to have happened. I up until that moment, I felt like I'd played this turn very well. I don't know why that Neophyte squad didn't commit, but don't worry about it. I'm sure there was a very good reason. Maybe I wanted to threaten an ingress Overwatch. That's what it was, definitely. It's a very scary maneuver that Lukas hates.
Yeah,
I was so planning that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start shooting now. Here come the Bombas. Going to see if we can obliterate some Mega Knobs. And as it turns out, Bomba.
Bomba indeed.
Mega Knobs not having Nimble, not having a Feel No Pain. I am AP2 base, AP3 from the strat, AP4 from the token. Ignores cover. You're taking 6-up saves, and you're dying, is what's happening right here. I don't need no stinking Primus. You may not be an objective, but I wound you on 2s anyway, so.
Goodbye, my precious little boys.
Munch on that. So they're all dead. And then our Seismics will go down the line here into the bikes. I really wish I had a couple grenade launchers here because the Seismics, who should get this done, they are freebie repeating. So they're AP2 ignores cover. You have 6-up saves, winning on 4s with like an average of 24 hits. So you have like 24 hits, 12 wounds, 10 failed saves. Somehow a guy lives on a wound. Nice. Skill issue, I guess.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, evidently. That's fine. It's a war biker. He's not going to be the end of the world. He's certainly not going to do anything really annoying.
He did something very annoying.
Bastard. All right. Well, the positioning is still good. We still take out those storm people with, I think this was like some combination of like these grenade launchers and that. I don't even, and the Reductus indirect, I guess. I don't know. We kill the storm people. That's the moral of the story. And yeah, so I'm fairly happy with that. Once again, I drew Assassinate Homers, and I got another 3 on Homers. No Assassinates just yet, but Lukas has a lot of characters that are going to have to start coming out real soon if he wants to get involved.
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
All right, so what are we thinking? Lukas getting held to a 5, of course, on primary here. What are we thinking for your turn 2?
So this is that maneuver I was talking about last turn, where now that your opponent's a little bit more in your face to try to get some points, you just kind of like wander out, hit them with whatever damage you can find, and then pop your wah so that next turn you're super scary. So these Tarroks are right in front of me. So I'm going to try to at least get them both in combat and preferably kill them. And then clean up this Ridge Runner as well. I want to start limiting the number of units Tyler has, and I think killing that little bomb car behind the wall in the middle. So this little guy right here.
The Cyclops, yeah.
We get that style is dope. So blow up that guy by walking next to him, and then kill these 2 Tarroks, hopefully. Definitely kill this Ridge Runner and just say, okay, -4 units. Hopefully we can deal with these Acolytes as well in the lower right. And then, you know, it'll be down to he'll drop in his super scary units, and I'll hit him with my super scary units, and someone will walk out the back end.
Yeah. In hindsight, this 9 and this 9 meet and cover. So this Tarrox is like 4 inches too far forward. There's no reason for it to be that far up. I know you can't advance and charge. I should be safely towed on back here, but instead we're all the way up here, and that's going to result in me getting mega charged by some boys here.
Fortunately, it's not like the complete end of the world because these guys are like don't hit that hard right now.
Yeah, and also like they're even if they kill the car, I'm pretty happy to trade a car for a squad right now.
I would love to have killed that card this turn, but
Really?
it's just
Okay.
unlikely.
Mhm.
Given the stuff that I have. Let's talk about what cards I drew. I do not remember what cards I drew this turn.
You drew Storm Hostile behind, and you burnt behind for Engage.
Oh yeah, so I think the burn and get a new card stratagem is like really underutilized by people.
Yes.
I almost always, especially if you have some kind of mechanic to gain CP. I know that I'm speaking with a little bit of privilege here, given that I have Gretchen and in Green Tide I have Brutal but Cunning, but I almost always ditch a card on turn 2 or 3. Because that's usually when stuff's happening with Orkz. You just want to see as much of the deck as possible. And if you have a card that you can achieve, and it's like the next card on your deck, why not see what it is so you can try to get it? Because a lot of them, especially in the mid game, while you have a ton of units, are just like 3 points.
People so often wait to use that on like turn 5.
Yeah.
And maybe it's helpful there, but I guarantee you it's helpful here. And what stratagems are you using with Bully Boyz right now? Like,
Reroll to charge.
cool, dude.
Yeah, like I have,
You have, like,
5 CP at this
yeah,
point.
Absolutely.
I actually burned a whole bunch this turn because this is the one awkward part without the WA is your ability to solve problems is actually like very low. I need to like pull out some stupid shit to kill this 2-wound car here. To knock Tyler off this. The whole point of running forward here is to deny on the primary. So the Mega Knobs will solve this, no problem. The boys will solve this one, no problem. But like, how am I flipping this objective? Well, I have to do it with a wagon and a warbiker. So I guess I'm like tank shocking and grenading and shooting with the warbiker. This ends up just barely working, but it totally could have not.
Skin your fucking teeth.
Yeah, it was scary. And of course, the Reductus dying did open up this garrote hole.
Skill issue, dude.
Of course, we're gonna have the homie Skylar come in here and roll the dice. He's gonna roll the red dice because the red ones go faster, and he's gonna bang both these 9s like an absolute legend.
Talking about the thought process dropping the Mega Knobs right now. Like,
Yeah.
We talk about them being an ingress threat. Now they're not an ingress threat. What
Exactly.
gives?
So I have the CP here to reroll the 9 on the Mega Knob, just deep strike charge.
Totally.
And that makes it essentially 50%.
Yep.
If they land back there and fail the 50%, I feel like they're still in a relevant enough spot that it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna pause here for a sec.
Yeah, sure. You're gonna be logging next turn. They're gonna get places.
They'll get places. They're within striking distance of 3 objectives. Like, I'm happy with their position. They're also behind the wall, so like they'll be the last unit you probably go after. If they do land the 9, then it's backbreaking because they start the wall on a midfield objective easily within threat range of another one.
Yep.
So that is pretty scary. And I feel like people don't see this line very often because, Rapid Ingress is amazing. And in the right matchup, yes, I agree, Rapid Ingress is your best friend. But in places like this where 3-inch Deep Strike is all over the place, there's tons of little crappy units. I don't really want to be shackled to spending a CP next turn to land in a suboptimal spot. Right? I would just rather take the 50% right now to get onto the board and make myself
before
a
you
problem.
unpause that.
Yeah.
To be clear, this spot was not available to you previously because it was occupied by models. If there were room to be in here, you would have ingressed there last turn.
Probably.
You're sitting on 4 CP. Like, why not?
Yeah, I guess I guess so. Yeah.
That's what I remember.
I didn't.
Happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that crossed my mind, but maybe I'm just misremembering.
I may have just said it to myself. All right, cool. 9 and is here, and then there's models, so you're here, and now I'm fine.
Gotcha.
But whatever the case, yes, so they're coming in.
They're there now, and I think if I land the 9, it'll be very not devastating, but like it'll put me in a very solid spot.
Yeah, because like predicting what's going to happen here. If these knobs are the only thing here, they're dead. Very comfortably. I've got late Izzur cars. I've got Bomba. Like, I can remove a unit of Mega Knobs through the wall without a character. And then these guys are there. These guys are dead. These guys are dead. If I can figure out a way to take care of this situation, like this is your army at that point. Real bad. But if this happens, like, man, I got some problems to solve. So let's see how it goes.
Yep. So we end up killing that Ridge Runner with pistols, which is one nicely solved problem. Because otherwise I was gonna have to, like, I don't know, charge it with Snickrod? I don't know exactly what my backup plan was, but
tank shock? No, you're tank shocking down here.
Tank shocking down there.
Your grenade also killed 5 acolytes.
No, I killed 2, and then the Dactyl guns killed 3.
Oh my god!
It was something exceptionally stupid. I was like, I'm gonna shoot and kill 1 more acolyte. Oh, I killed 3. Now my battle wagon is a 7-inch charge.
Can this guy die at like a normal amount of gun that should kill the unit twice over, please?
All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop moaning about dice. But yeah, so the wagon gets on.
OC5.
You kill like just the right amount. Where if you kill 1 more, the wagon's just not making that charge. It would have been like a 10, but you kill the right amount. But if I pull from the bottom, then the wagon gets there anyway, and the guy gets in there, and the guy hits real hard, and then the wagon hits. Like this is going poorly.
It's going great. What do you mean? Niner.
God, you hit
Niner, baby.
Spends the reroll, hits the 9 on the reroll. Okay, this sucks. But like we've still got a lot of material over there. He just needs to not hit the Grot 9 as well, so that my Ridge Runners are free to just fuck off.
Oh, the Gretchen boys.
All right, so things not going quite as planned. This is what happens when you put your Reductus 1/4 of an inch too close to a truck, I guess.
Don't get blown up on, man.
Like honestly, that is a mistake that I should not have made. Like we talked about, there were better ways to solve that problem. I don't know the CP. I don't know the CP for that stupid Rapid Ingress play, but I would love to kill those Grots with that. That would have been real nice. But yes, that's a bummer. And then the wagon doesn't quite. The acolytes down here kill the Warbiker, and the wagon doesn't quite finish them, but 2 of them survive, which is insufficient to maintain the objective. You killed exactly the number you needed. Damn it. All right. I'm not salty.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not salty.
Those red boys hit the Tower Rocks for 5 and pop that little bomb.
Yeah,
Bomber.
nice. Bomb. I really enjoyed you being too cowardly to pop it with your storm people because I could kill all of them.
Yeah, was that cowardice or was that cunning?
I mean, evidently, like I didn't do that a moment later, and the thing that you were afraid of happening to you happened to me. So, like, maybe you're better at this game than I am. But
what are you talking about?
Like, that's an equivalent maneuver to the Reductus, not wanting to get too close to the truck, so that if you explode and you do a full 3, like it's exactly the same scenario. It's just that me blowing up is automatic. You is on a 2-up. You blowing up is on a 6-up. But, you know, it either happens or it doesn't. So it's 50-50 at the end of the day. Anyway.
What are you even saying right now?
So the first squad of Meganobs barely kills the car, which means the guys have to get out and die to the other squad of Meganobs. This was such a demoralizing turn.
Dude, you're about to get killed by 2 attack anti-tank weapons.
Oh my god. They don't kill all of them. I think I lose 3 of them to the disembark, and then 3 more of them to the fighting.
Yes, that sounds right.
Because I think I have 4 of them at the end of this turn.
Yep.
Because no character hitting on 4s. Like,
no, this is a character squad.
Oh, it is, huh? What's the thought process in the ordering there? Do you not want the better squad to be more likely to kill the tank? You just trust the regular guys to do it?
The tank was a 5.
Why?
The truck shot it and it failed to save. The truck bopped it failed to save, and then it got exploded on for 3. Woo! Orkz. I figure as long as I can muster like 4 hits, it's gonna die, and I think.
Yeah, no. If it's got 5 wounds, that's totally the right call. Yeah, I just forgot that nonsense had happened. All right, cool. So here's a really interesting decision point, and I've decided things are going pretty poorly. Let's get funny.
Sure.
Right. It's time to try and experiment some practice games. This is where we do some interesting stuff. The correct move here is to sit back and blow Lukas to hell as best as I can, except that I'm going to go down a turn on primary and try to win this in the late game.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to do that.
No.
We're going to get interesting.
We're getting silly with it.
We're getting silly with it. So what that's going to mean in this case is that the big weakness of a battle wagon is that it is small. It is very small, but it is bigger on the inside than the outside, so it can fit like 3,000 square inches of unit inside, despite only having like 3,005 square inches of available get out area.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't see this right now, but Lucas has stretched a plastic coat hanger over his head. Anyway.
I'm the biggest boss, baby.
All right, Chief. So we're not even going to pick up this turn. We're not going to pick up this unit. They're going to stay there, which is why it's really silly that I didn't bring in the purple unit. But anyway, they're going to run up and instead of getting picked up, they're going to run forward and run this way. The seismics are going to shoot here, which is great. The grenades are going to, I don't know, also shoot there. And then we're going to charge and par wrap this battle wagon so that Lucas cannot disembark. You'll notice that this is the other thing, is that what I should have done is completely abandoned this flank. I should have completely abandoned this flank, said I'm going to wrap this, I'm going to kill these guys, and then I'm going to show up over here and kill these. Do I show up over there and kill those this turn? That's what Purple Squad does, right? They come in over here? No, they come in over here. Oh, because I want to make sure that the squad goes away. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, actually. Mm-hmm. But I have to full commit my bomb squad up here to working on your resources. I don't know if that's the right call or not. I think it might have been more interesting to show up down here.
Well, someone's got to go stand on that objective. You can't let 3 mega. Oh no, the
boys are there. The catechins are there already, so this is not necessary.
You're an idiot, dude.
I mean, we're experimenting here. This is my second game ever into Bully Boyz, and my first game with this army. The cars are fun. The car is also really high OC, right? You've got what, like 2 or 3 OC on there, enough that 4 takes away. Like 1 car takes it. Yeah, so that's, I mean, this is why we do these things, so that we can see stuff for the benefit of hindsight. Yeah, because even with advance and charge, I'm shooting from all the way down here. Like, honestly, maybe the bombs show up like here, kill the car, Snickrot, and the Grots. Like, that's a weird use of a Primus bomb squad, but like, why not?
It's a lot of value,
right? Kill all of these things. We kill these guys. We handle this thing, and everyone's staring at it, and it's never getting out. And then whoops. Oh, God damn it. Did I somehow end up right where we were? Like minus like a minute? That's very funny. Jump forward. All right. That would have been an interesting play. That's not the play that we go for here. The math is that a bomb squad with all the buffs kills a Mega Knob squad. It hasn't happened yet. I've tried this multiple times. The math says it works. It hasn't worked yet. So the math isn't math.
You're just delusional.
I might be bad at math. I'll admit that part. That's a very real possibility.
Probably the case.
My dice probably also, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans and all that nonsense. So whatever the case, we're going to try to do something here. This is where we make a really interesting decision. There are boys in this car, right?
Yes.
There are boys in the car. That's very scary. I don't want that. So I'm going to have the Cadians get out here, walk over this way, charge, and wrap this car as well. And that's going to prevent those boys from getting out. It's in a way that's what Purple Squad does. Purple Squad shows up like here and shoots. I don't think it really fit in there and shoot. Anyway, not the point. So I'm gonna mitigate that. So in theory, I'm gonna remove one of these. That's what I was thinking. I'll remove one of these squads. We'll do some damage here. We'll see how it goes. And then there will just be the one squad here, and there will be catechins here, there will be cars here, and there will be Bomba here. You cannot remove all of those things at once with your stupid squad. And then this car will be wrapped, this wagon will be wrapped, these guys will be dead. And then on your next turn, you will get to play with a squad of Mega Knobs and like a little bit of stuff back here, which I will then kill the following turn. That was my thought process here. I don't think that's a bad plan. Or I don't think that's a bad goal. Unfortunately, this is not an impeccable execution of that because I forget about like one of the best trap cards in 40K, which is the 3 CP play known as Ingress S Heroic.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas has 5 Storm people still off the board.
These guys are the heroes that Gork needed, dude.
Anytime I see an Ork list that doesn't have Storm Boys in it, I just kind of like write it off. I'm like, that's easy. I'm just going to win because every single time these 5 idiots win you the game.
Yeah.
It happens so consistently.
Yep. They're very good. Take your trash units, Bully Boyz players. If you don't, you are just being greedy.
Yeah. Imagine if you didn't have any Storm people and you had those 2 extra war bosses instead.
No, dude, you got to upgrade the boys to knobs so they have less OC and they can kill the same things that your mega knobs already kill.
Yeah, but then they get out of the trucks easier.
Oh, you're right, dude. Oh, you're right. Yeah, if I had 20 knobs in that car, I could get them all out. You'd have to work a little marginally harder to wrap me, dude. It's over for me. It's over for you.
Something fun is that these two dudes are still alive. They fall back. They get 3 friends back. So they're going to screen to here. They're going to screen to here. I acknowledge that Lukas has this play now. And the most important thing is just make sure it doesn't happen here. Because if it happens here, the game is immediately over. Like, that's very silly. So he's going to get to do it over here. It's going to suck balls. But it's not quite as big of a deal. What can you explain this play? Break it down for people who may not be familiar with what's going on here.
Yeah, so I mean, we all know what rapid ingress is, but when you combine it with heroic, it means that people's plans to like charge you to bog you down or wrap your car or keep you from charging next turn doing stuff just kind of fall flat because you get to clear their unit in their turn. It's obviously a large investment because it costs 3 command points and there's failure points, like you might just fail your 5-inch charge. What?
This was totally preventable.
What was totally preventable?
Put the bombs here and the flamers here.
You gotta land on the objective.
Why?
To give me overwhelming force.
God damn it. When people say that TTS, they play better on TTS than they do in person, one of the reasons is this kind of situation.
Yeah,
this level of spatial awareness is really hard to have in game.
Yeah,
I would have also gotten to flame the Grots who are on the objective.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you don't have wall right now. They would have all died immediately.
No, this is the wall. It's an actual wall.
Oh, because I went first. Yeah. So here come the boys showing up because Tyler doesn't know what he's doing.
Orkz heroes.
Oh man, wow.
You're just a silly goose, Tyler.
Oh man. This is so good. I highly recommend if you have any way to film your games, come back and watch them.
Every time we've done this, I feel like we've learned so much about just our play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thinking about the mistakes that we've made.
Yeah, especially with something like GSC where you have infinity options. Especially also like knowing what's going to happen in the relatively near yet somewhat distant future helps a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
See, here come the bombs. They're not going to do. The math isn't mathing.
Well, you kill. I think that squad plus the Ridge Runners kills all 6 of the War Boss squad Mega Knobs, right?
Yes. But the math is they do that without the Ridge Runners.
Bummer.
But yeah. And then my Reductus is like, all right, I need some assassinate points. Let's kill a Mega Boss. Mega Boss still has a feel no pain because persistent effects. And she hands you like 7 wounds or whatever. And you're like, nah, dog. Screw it. Disrespectful.
Get blocked, bro.
Yeah.
Can we please fix the Mega Boss and the Foot Boss?
Just flip-flop their abilities?
Yes.
So that
one of them works when it shouldn't, and one of them doesn't work when it should.
That would be great.
Yeah. For those who aren't aware, the WTC recently released an FAQ. So if your events play with the WTC FAQ, just be aware of this, that war bosses, when they're inside of vehicles, don't get the when you call a WOG effect. So for the Mega Boss, that's the +1 damage. And for the Foot Boss, that's the +4 attacks. But the Mega Boss, because the Mega Knobs rule says while the WA is active for this unit, it's like a persistent effect for the duration of the WA. So if he's in the Mega Knob unit when you call it, he'll have a 4 Feel No Pain for the duration of that WA, that battle round. So even if all the Mega Knobs are dead and you go to another activation into him, he'll still have the 4 Feel No Pain. So both of those things are just like dramatically counterintuitive and very stupid. What's up?
Yeah, no, it's very silly. The War Boss +1 seems especially punitive, given that like no one was playing it that way and the rule hadn't changed at all.
It was literally people realized orcs were going to be good, and then we're like, how can we nitpick this to make it not work? Oh, cool. Like transport shenanigans.
Yep.
Get destroyed.
The Mega Knobs thing is, at least, like, as dumb as it is, it's very clearly spelled out in the designer's commentary that that's how persisting effects work. Like, that is how it's ruled. I would like the rules to change, but it's not a matter of interpretation. That's what they said. So please fix GW. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if they're willing to change the game so that Necrons can do their nonsense, and now GSC can reanimate off the board. Surely they'll figure something out for Orkz.
There's a bunch of counterintuitive shit in the game.
Yeah. I'm still bummed that not having Purple Squad do the thing. I think I was fine just saying, let's have the squad be safe. It'll do something relevant next turn. Guarantees that you can't mess with it. I don't need it because I didn't need it. I did everything I wanted to last turn. But this Acolyte play is killing me. Maybe I didn't notice it until it was too late. Let's go with that. But yeah, so that boss walks away from that Reductus after grenades and demo charge with what, 4 wounds. Anyway, in come the Neophytes. They're going to wrap up the wagon. We got a nice fat charge distance. We totally clear this squad off. That's great. We basically get through a squad. The problem is there's still 2 activations. Maybe, honestly, that was a reason to go after the squad and not the squad with the boss.
To make it 1 instead of 2.
Yeah. It was not a thing. We talked for a while about which one was better to go after. And they're also on the objective, but I wanted the boss to die. Obviously, if the boss is dead, I'd be very happy right now. But
yeah, that is the one thing, right? Obviously, that mega boss squad was 3-4 inches further back.
Yeah.
And
didn't have
limits the number of
activations.
Mm-hmm. But the way this game pans out, you don't end up killing that other squad of mega nubs, and you do end up killing that war boss.
Yep.
So it did end up netting you 4 points on assassinate. So there is some give and take.
It definitely did. But also my ability to deal with this unit and my inability is somewhat predicated on it getting to go on a rampage now based on its positioning. But also I don't think that the game has nearly as much to do with that as it does with what's happening right now, which is the Stormboys are killing off the guardsmen and freeing the boys, who will then freely charge down and free their comrades, who will then win the game.
Yeah.
Bit of a cascading effect there. Very cool now in hindsight to see that it was preventable, because at the moment it definitely felt completely like there was nothing I could do, which is very funny because, we often joke about this when we're, playing against maybe less experienced players, that they'll often end the game and say, man, there was nothing else I could have done. Nothing to be done. Let's pause so I can explain that shenanigan in a second. And we're like, obviously there was so much you could have done. You're not at the skill level yet to recognize it. Even for us, we have that same experience where it feels like there's nothing you could have done. There probably was, and you're struggling to see it. So always talk to your opponents, and if you have film, watch it back. So this nonsense right here. Why did I just pick up a unit of acolytes on my own turn?
To reanimate them instantly?
Yeah, exactly. No, not like why did I choose to do it, but like why was that possible?
Oh, like the mechanic.
Yeah, what's happening?
Oh, so hazardous checks will allow you to voluntarily break your own coherency.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can continue to remove models until the squad is dead, basically, if they have a character.
Yeah, as long as there's a character. What basically happens is the acolytes spread out. But here, I guess I should have middle circles. The acolytes spread out here, and here's the ones with the bombs, for example. And you got to be 2 within 2. So I just make sure that there's at least one model with a bomb. Let's make it this guy right here, who's within 2 of these 2 friends and nobody else. Then when I fail at least 1 hazard check from the 4 rolls, which is a fairly reasonable odds, right? 1 minus 5 to the 4th over 6 to the 4th. It's like a 50-50, I think, is what I worked it out to be. But when it happens, it's great. You pull off, black, fancy. You pull off this model, and now, this is broken. This unit is incoherent because there's only 1 model within 2 inches of this guy. So then the wording of coherency is you remove models 1 at a time until the unit is coherent. So I remove this model, and then this model, and then this model. And as you can see, the unit is not getting any more coherent. And then I move this model, and this model, and this model, and this model. So all that's left is the Primus, this guy and his friend. I remove this model, and now it's just the Primus and him, still incoherent, and I remove this model as well. Very last, and now all that's left is the Primus. And now that the unit has died, even though the character is still alive, the unit death is separate. I get to roll for a cult ambush check, and if they roll that 4+, that's because their battle line would have been a 3+ if it was turn 1 or 2. This is such a good move to use on, say, bottom 1. They immediately. You show up a blip over here, and it's about to be my opponent's turn, so they'll come back immediately. Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a risk because you're giving up a unit when, like I said, the activation count up here is a really big deal. Yeah. But getting that unit back will pay very, very serious dividends. And I think I I don't remember. Do I get them back?
Yes.
Yeah, I do get them back immediately. So that's a unit that I get to play with next turn instead of the turn after next turn.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of risky maneuvers that either I like to make early in a game because they don't cost a whole lot. That squad is usually dead anyway. Or
if you feel down.
Yeah, if you feel down as a way to dig yourself out, a free unit of bombas can go a long way, as it turns out. So yeah, that's my turn. Not phenomenal, not horrific. This little Cyclops walking into Lucas's DZ will get me a 4 on homers, which is nice.
You have kept me to another 5 as well.
Yeah, we'll hold Lucas to a 5 on primary. So the points at this juncture are not horrific. My assassinate isn't great, but like those are scoreable at any point in time.
Yep.
And this war boss is just like barely holding on. We killed the one in the middle. This one's definitely going to die in a minute. Like we'll get places. So yeah, things are feeling okay. What are we thinking going into your bottom 3, Lucas?
Well, that heroic play really just dug me out of a terrible situation because it moved me from solving like 0 problem. There may be 1 or 2 problems on my turn to like solving 3 or 4.
Yeah. So,
yeah, feeling pretty good. Gonna make it just like 1 or 2 minor positioning mistakes this turn, but overall it's gonna go pretty well for me. I'm a little light on resources. I did have to spend a bunch on turn 2 to deny Tyler's primary. So here I've only got like maybe 1, perhaps 2 CP for some charge and advanced rerolls. But yeah, we're gonna try to make these various charges. And the good news is the boys getting out of this truck should be nice and easy charge into those neophytes since they've gone all the way around me to wrap me. The wagon, that is. So they're going to go in there and clear out those neophytes. They are just guardsmen at the end of the day, so that should be nice and easy for me. And then the mega knobs up here are going to make their way around. They actually don't end up making much of like a points impact on this game, but it just means that there's going to be less of Tyler stuff around here as they go in and smash those ridge runners right in the face. And this is the power of that turn 3 wah, right? Like if I had wad on 2, yeah, I would have had an easier time on turn 2, but this would have been the last time I really got to play the game with any amount of gas.
Yep.
This is the beginning of my army's power right here. It's going to continue throughout the next turn, and it's just going to get scary as I start clearing out some of these GSC units.
Yeah, this is why there is so much counterplay against Orkz in locking them up, right? Once you know that, oh, this is your powerful turn. If I can force you to wait it out inside of a car, phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But as you saw, that play can be pretty high risk, high reward. And when it doesn't go your way,
it goes very poorly.
Yeah.
So this turn I draw defend and extend battle lines. Extend battle lines is automatic. Defend, I'm going to hope to score just by continuing to block out the chip on my home objective and having those Gretchen hang out back there. Their OC2 is pretty strong. Yep. And yeah.
Did you stick your home field?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's boys on it.
Exactly.
You always want to stick your home field.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to blow up this little car as well, just for -1 unit.
Yep. So, I mean, that'd be free homers every turn if you didn't do that.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing too complicated this turn, honestly. The one mistake I think I made, and I'm okay with just rolling the camera while I talk about this, is moving this truck this way.
Yep.
I was in a powerful enough position at this point that I should have just blocked this off, because Tyler's going to very easily be able to kill these Gretchen and then drive the car on to take the objective from Snickrot, which is not only going to deny me 5 on primary, but it's also going to interrupt my defense stronghold. So that's an 8-point swing that I just didn't see. There's no reason to go tag those neophytes. A, it's a long charge, and B, I don't really know how impactful it's going to be at this point. Mm-hmm. Having one squad of neophytes just drop in wherever they want to probably isn't the end of the world given the amount of units I have all the way around the board. Yeah, they'll be able to solve one problem, but like whatever, I'd rather just get 8 points 100%. By keeping that truck there and body blocking that little alleyway. So a little bit of a mistake, but that's okay. The boys come on in here. This is my head stomper unit. So this is a very cheap Bully Boyz enhancement that I really like. It's 10 points, and it gives the war boss reroll 1s to wound if the target's below starting strength, full reroll to wound if it's below half. It's just a nice little,
himself,
just for him.
Okay, nice.
So it's a nice little efficiency bump. I never go out of my way to include it, but if there's ever 10 points, I don't have to like try to weasel my way into upgrading something into Storm Boys or bumping the enhancements around. You just buy Head Stomper, and it's never bad. So they're gonna go in there and just clean the clock on those neophytes, just completely vaporize the unit, which is good for me for sure. And again, at this point, I just have that 10-man. I've got like some scraps on the board, and I've got that 10-man and the unit of 5 knobs. So I really don't have that much stuff other than this gigantic battle wagon full of dudes. And this is going to continue to be a problem. You've done a good job of mitigating it so far, preventing the guys from getting out. But it's at this point, maybe you can deny after one more turn, but it's only a matter of time before those guys start making some points.
I've got one more trick up my sleeve.
Yeah, dude, you do.
We'll see what we can do about it. The game is not over yet, boys.
Yes.
It's not over till the fat 3-armed lady sings.
What?
So yeah, the Bully Boys get in this time with the wall up now. They just smash the crap out of those Ridge Runners. Bummer, but that's how that goes. My Neophytes are still chilling, and my Bombas have re-arrived in this back corner here. This, of course, is like the primary GSC thing. Have stuff show up in the backfield, pick it up, put it somewhere else. Rinse and repeat. And now this is where things are going to get a little bit stretched thin, but I still see a path here, right? And the path is admittedly fairly straightforward. The path is Lukas gets 5 points. That's fine. The path is Acolytes show up here, kill Grots, take his home field. Great. Deny, defend, and 5 primary. Huge point swing. Acolytes with bombs blow up truck. You're on an objective. You have a 6-up save. This seems pretty feasible. Neophytes shoot and kill Orkz with boss. Totally doable. That part's easy. And then this unit of Acolytes who have been here since they deep struck on top of turn 2 and have just been getting friends back, wrap the truck one last time while denying the primary. I have a really stupid mistake and try to run them around this way instead of this way because I'm thinking these boys are going to be in the way somehow. If those boys aren't dead, there is no play here. Yeah. So what am I doing? But I mean, I'm a little rattled at this point. I'm being entirely honest. So let's see what we can do. This is the other thing. I hate this unit of Neophytes with the Clamavis because they don't do anything. And I know I'm being facetious when I say that. They obviously have value. But one of the things that I'm not doing with them is that they should be up here really early so that this turn they can go take this objective just in case. I also line up my Ridge Runner to run up here to have a charge on this guy as a contingency. I end up deciding that's a bad idea because when he is up here, he is giving advance and charge things ways onto my home field. If I just run him backwards, I deny that entirely. My home field is sticky. We're safe. That is the safer play.
Yeah, there you go. So he runs back.
Yes, he's going to run back instead. We're still on the objective. Still 9-inch screening out Sneck if he manages to teleport away. That's not a problem. But yeah, so if that all goes according to plan, then on Lukas's turn, he'll have a pile of things here that can like maybe run over this way and take his home field back. These Mega Knobs are out of the game for the duration of it. These guys are going to be able to get out bottom 5. Like we're eking things out here. We're making stuff happen. Maybe these Neophytes literally just run in and wrap it up again and say they literally never get out for the rest of the game. Would have been sick. But not everything goes according to plan.
Why are you charging? You're a shooting unit.
Oh, man.
Why should I be charging with my Riptides, dude? It's not super bad.
They're
a gun unit. They want to stand away and shoot.
If you play a gun army, you need to be charging more. Neophytes are one of the best examples of this. This is such a good unit to have in combat all the time. They've got pistols, so they do actions in combat. They stand on objectives very comfortably. They get guys back all the time. So, like, if you're in something that doesn't really hit, you can just sit there forever. You don't need to shoot. Not at this stage in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how these things go. In hindsight, this unit should probably actually be here.
Just to be a little further away from my stuff.
Yeah, so that you're not actually able to crash in here. But that's another, I don't know, spatial thing that I'm not noticing quite right. I guess I also like the idea that if I fail a bomb, this isn't even stretched out for coherency properly, that I could... I don't know what's going on. Not my best play of all time, but not the really the important part of this turn, frankly. The important part of this turn that they mess up is that they fail to kill the car. Kill a full squad of Mega Knobs, couldn't kill a car.
No blast for you.
Yeah, GSC have a car problem. That's why I put the laser cars in, which would be great at killing this thing if they were over here a turn earlier while still shooting because they weren't in combat with Grots. But that's how it goes. You make mistakes, they have consequences. Don't do that. Fortunately, we blow the hell out of this whole situation with my neophytes, because that's what neophytes do. They kill 10 boys and dude. Yes, that's another assassinate. We're getting a 4 on home. This card is doing homers while it's doing this on your home field.
So
it is
rude.
So much value.
That's so rude.
GSC have a serious unit count problem even when you're playing a list like this. You just have to do so much nonsense with your stuff at once, which is why I don't love Fix in general. And there's the weak roll. I needed like a 5-inch charge, I think we ended up saying, to wrap this wagon for my position. And I rolled like a 3 or a 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it done. Big bummer. Big bummer. And we end up having to go around this way to try, and it's just unsuccessful. So that's the game right there at the end of the day, because that means that those boys are going to come out and they're going to go clobber me. I try the 9 here, try to raw dog it, because if they hit the 9, then we'll probably get far enough. It's my very last ditch effort, and it just isn't able to get it done. So at this point, we can essentially shake hands, because Lukas is getting a 15 instead of the 5 that I was aiming for him to be getting this turn. Yeah. And yeah, that's going to be game. But we're going to go ahead and play it out strictly for your entertainment, for the joy of the crumpin'. So yeah, how are we? Oh, that was the other part of this that I forgot about. My lone Primus over here, who after all of his neophytes killed themselves, is like, I'm going to handle these storm boys, because there were still storm people there from forever ago. Not even forever. I guess they walked and they killed these guys and they ran over that way to go help out, which is a good call. I'm thinking he's got, a decent needle pistol shot that maybe kills one. He's got 7 attacks in combat that hit on 2s and wound decently. And like, you don't have a lot of wounds. We'll try to kill through some stuff. Hopefully we survive the clapback if I don't kill everybody. This. And I did 0 damage across shooting and fighting, and he got clobbered.
These storm boys were heroes.
Oh my god.
Ingress heroic. Run over, kill the Catachin remnant so the war boss doesn't have to. Get charged by the Primus, don't care, clobber that git. Run over, kill a fresh Bomba squad. Yeah, you can have free squads, dude. We don't care. We're the Orkz. Let's go. Just means more humies to kill.
Yep.
And it's turn 4, boys. That means it's second war time. Gas in the tank. Gas. Let's go. And we drew, let's see, we still have Defense Stronghold because I'm a dumb idiot. And we also drew Bring It Down. So we're going to kill this. Well, you know what? Thank you for
drawing. No, you drew Extend Battle. Oh, no, you did Extend. Yeah, Bring It Down. Yeah, I'm illiterate.
Nice. So we're going to kill this car. Thank you for driving the car out of my doorstep. I truly appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
We're going to punch it in the face. Thoughts?
And prayers.
That's for you, for sure. I love this unit of Meganobs. It's just like slowly waddling over to the home objective, like, please nobody shoot at us now that we don't know. I feel no pain. Please nobody shoot at us.
Oh man.
Oh, Meganobs are funny. Imagine being the battle wagon pilot, dude. You're just driving backwards, like, and there's tons of little rats jumping out of the sewer. And like,
and the boys are like egalitarians here. If there ain't enough room for all of us, there isn't room for any of us.
we're not getting out until we have our nice room to get out and dust ourselves down and straighten out the jackets on our way out.
Those guys are stinky. I don't want to go stand over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, this freaking wall of green meat is just going to charge everything in sight and
thunder smash all of it. Oh, I love it. I love how hard these 20-man squads, man. They're so good. They're so good. So we're going to triple tap and kill all 3 of these units here. Value. And yeah, we're also just going to have this car idle in the middle of the board. The Bomba Survivor. Oh, car's done work, man.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has.
Remember when trucks were 50 points?
Oh, God. You remember the old Orkz GSC matchup?
90 boys in 9 cars.
That was a fun matchup. We had a lot of fun playing that game.
Headphone users beware. Beep beep.
Okay. I was sure I was gonna have to go fix that in post. But yeah, so yeah, we're getting tabled here. Like not literally tabled, but like this is super over. So let's do some reflections here.
Mm-hmm.
We pointed out a couple of mistakes that I made over the process.
Yeah.
The Reductus, I would rate that as my least. Like I blame myself for that. The least of the mistakes that I made here, like that. Sure, that's a mistake, but like it's a 1 in 18. It's going to happen sometimes, I guess. Biggest mistake is not zoning off the Ingress Heroic. That is a hard play to look for, but also it's not a hard play to stop once you see it. So that's a big error there. The trucks are generally in the wrong places. Get out of the trucks when you're taking primary. Letting you deny primary with just a truck, cringe. Having a bunch of dudes that require you to send an actual unit, especially like the synergy is so obvious between Reductus covers objective, boys stand on objective, require you to come.
Very hard to come steal that.
So hard to do. Need to be doing that a little bit better. The finesse over here is a bummer, but it's not the absolute end of the world. These grenade launchers not getting to shoot the bikes was very annoying. Like that changes so much if those bikes just die, and then those acolytes aren't in as much of a problem. So it's a bunch of little mistakes along the way. On your end, don't let me steal your home field for free. Pro tip.
Yeah, it was dumb. I also probably should have hidden that car on turn 1 a little bit better. I wanted to. It's a Meganob car, and the Meganobs are the least useful. Like as we saw, they kind of make an issue of themselves and don't do too much in this matchup.
Totally.
So I'm glad it was that car, not the boy car.
Yeah.
But still, probably could have hidden that a little bit better. But
yeah. That was the other thing, was I probably should have aggressed more on turn 1.
Yeah, 100%. People do this all the time against Orkz when they during deployment on turn 1, they're like, what's your maximum threat? Let me stay out of your maximum threat so that there's no risk of things going wrong. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. See the entire table to me, you dumbass. Like one of the best things you can do when an Orc opponent isn't logging is like try to make their life as stressful as possible. Try to take as much space as possible. It's because you're going to need the primary. Like their whole game plan is to deny you primary. So if you can squeak a 10 instead of a 5 or a 15 instead of a 10 in early turns, you're going to be really happy with yourself on turn 4 when it turns out that you got those couple extra points won you the game. So try to take some space. Don't be an idiot and like rush your whole army out into the open and disembark. But there's a lot of room for a gray areas in between where you can actually like get yourself some primary early by being intelligent about it.
Absolutely.
Also, like Snickerall style points at the end there for capture enemy outpost.
Did you draw capture turn?
Yeah, your capture turn. Just thanks for that, buddy.
All right, where's my Clamavis? Oh, I picked them up. I sent it because I sent.
Yeah, they went up there.
They did a homer.
No, they went to yes. They
they decided to kill the boss.
Yes,
because I figured there's a chance.
There was the risk of the
yeah. So but I think probably turn 1, right? We sent now. Hey, look at that back at the beginning. These cars ran over, shot this way. These cars should have just driven over to here, stood on the objective, and shot and killed this car.
Yes, 100%.
That would have been phenomenal. Does that especially because you're not wogging? So like even with the these guys charging in, I just don't
I killed
care.
One car.
And like from here and there, I can get both cars on the objective. That's 6OC. The Reductus stands here and blocks it off. And like you didn't call the wog, so you lost a Meganob for that. Like with only 5 Meganobs, you might not even kill the one car. And then I just hold the objective.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Be aggressive. Like I needed to punish you for not wogging a lot harder than I did, which is a lot of fun. I played this list a bunch at the beach. It's been refined a little bit. We got rid of this stupid Clamavis Nexos unit, replaced him with 5 Pure Strains and a Jackal Alphas, which is admittedly trolling, but I love her. She's wonderful. The Pure Strains are the more important part, because the list needs 1 more unit of Infiltrators to block off Scouts, because Tau and War Leaders are both very serious threats, and also Orcs with Zodgrod, frankly. Like that's a concern, and other GSC, I suppose. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. What do you think about a tier list moving forward? Are there changes you'd make to the bullies?
Not really. I really like this list. Yeah. There might be some situations where if you need to kill hard targets, maybe you try to cram another Mega Boss in just by cutting some crap. But I like all the number of units that this list has. The Warbikers in particular have always been really impressing me.
Yeah,
lately.
They're fast.
They're fast. They're not tanky, but they're more durable than Storm Boys, which is the direct comparison because they cost the same.
Yep. Like
you can shoot something real at Warbikers and not kill a unit. And with grenades, assault weapons, they're not bad at shooting. They're not bad at combat. They're OC2. Like they're a very good job.
Yeah. Honestly, being 6 OC versus 5 is a really big break point.
It is.
That's very simple.
So yeah, I'm happy with the lists. No notes really.
Well, I'm taking this slight variant of it, like I said, with the Pure Strains and the Alphas instead of the Neos and the Clamavis to DreamHack this weekend. Very excited for that. I know you're playing Orkz as well, but not these Orkz. What are you taking?
I'm playing the Green Tide.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, if you want to watch some GSC and or Orkz or just general games of DreamHack at DreamHack, it's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be streaming it. I forget if Tactical Tortoise is commentating or actually doing
He's commentating. I believe the streams will be on Tabletop Life, formerly Pro Tabletop.
Okay, cool.
Because they're the guys who are organizing the whole thing. So look forward to that. We'll put some links in the description where you can check out. Hopefully we'll get some footage of us and our compatriots from Stat Check, Mr. Nicholas Olsen-Johnson and Anthony Vanella on stream as well. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Anyway, drop in the comments if there are specific matchups you want to see played. We got a whole bunch of armies that we know a thing or two about. And let us know what you thought of our first ever Stat Rep. We'll be back with another one before you know it.
Yes, sir.
That all being said and done, thanks so much for joining us. I've been Tyler.
I've been Lucas.
Catch you next time. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for the game.
Again.